Previously on Sailing Bohemia. Bohemia got front row seats to the fireworks. We stocked up on fresh food ahead of the approaching hurricane, and we set sail to explore southern Bahia de Los Angeles in search of whale sharks. And we're on the move again. Hurricane Genevieve is passing us 180 miles the other side of this mountain on the Pacific coast. It's a little bit close for comfort, but fortunately it is weakening significantly right now as it gets into cooler waters. We're just a bit worried that it's going to bring some strong westerly winds over these mountains and funneling down towards us. This area is quite famous for its nighttime westerlies called elefantes, and we're concerned that Genevieve is going to strengthen those winds. It could be up to 40 knots gusting at the worst case. So we're moving to better shelter and hopefully we'll be out of the way. Just borderline whether we can sail or not. I say not.
I think the westerly wind's already started. So we're just gonna drop the hook underneath these mountains and hopefully they're gonna protect us from the wind and we can wait out the hurricane there. Not a great start. So we are at the new anchorage to wait out for the hurricane. It is still quite exposed, not what we expected. And as we were anchoring, the windlass for the anchor just died. So it happened once before, so Tom is investigating what's wrong with it. But I hope it's not totally dead, because that means we would have to be pulling out the anchor by our hands for many, many months to come before we can get a spare part.
Nothing obvious yet. We got power here. The motor is quite hot, but I would have expected that because we've only just raised the anchor and lowered it again. We've only gone a couple of miles. So nothing obviously broken. We still got power, the fuse hasn't tripped. So my suspicion is it's probably this contactor here which controls the motor and puts it into forward and reverse. So I'm going to check that out and try operating it manually. If it is that, it's a relatively simple fix, or at least we can work around it and we won't have to raise it manually. So fingers crossed it's something simple like that.
This is how we roll. When something breaks on Bohemia, it's fixed once. Then it breaks second time, guaranteed.
If this doesn't work, it's time for the first mate to be working on his biceps on the foredeck, pulling all that chain up every time we want to move.
I want to see the day. This is a really perfect timing. Bloody hurricane is coming and our windlass on the anchor is broken. So I'm really praying that Tom can fix it. It's been half an hour and no luck. He thinks he fixed it, so test number 1. Okay, tell me when.
Okay, yeah.
What's that?
Okay, yeah, down for 3 seconds if you can. I'll measure the current.
Moment of truth. 3 seconds down. Yay! It works! 3 seconds up. Isn't he wonderful? Don't know what I would do without him. What's that?
Did I hear a compliment coming from up above deck?
You did.
Oh,
It wasn't meant to be here down below.
it's like seeing a rare bird. They don't come very often. Fortunately, Bohemia's maintenance team found a bad connection on the contactor, and the first mate's forearms were saved for another day. And we're on the move again. It's quite funny, the weather that we're getting recently is just coming from all directions. It's a bit confused by Hurricane Genevieve that passed just the other side of those mountains yesterday. So we are going to find what we think will be better shelter just over the mountains on the other side of this bay. It's just a short sail. We're starting off under diesel power because we're going right into the wind, and we're charging the batteries, making some water, and then we'll start tacking and making some slower progress once we get a bit of a head start on Makani behind us. That's the real reason.
Yeah, this anchorage feels so much better already. It's funny that you just have that feeling straight away that you're gonna be happier for the next few days. Wonderful white sand beach, turquoise water, and the sea is perfectly calm. So the sensitive captain should get good night's sleep. Oh my god, it's so hot. I don't understand why we always pick midday to go for a hike. Just can't leave early enough. Impossible.
Only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun, they say. And
am I the mad dog?
Yeah. I guess that makes you the mad dog.
With rabies. That will do.
We were surprised to stumble upon yet another abandoned resort being slowly reclaimed by the desert. The ruins made for a sorry sight. So many broken dreams, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but probably hurricane damage, right?
I think so.
All the roofs, everything is ripped out. So sad to see.
Mm.
It's like being in an all-inclusive hotel. Right, I'm gonna have 2 margaritas, 3 burgers, a couple of pizzas, and a cheesecake.
For starters. Wow.
It must have been the restaurant.
The long hike under the hot midday sun left us with only one option to cool down. Loggerhead sea turtles like this are named for their large heads and strong jaws. which they use to crush the shells of clams and mussels, which form part of their diet. The turtles spend up to 85% of their day diving to forage underwater. Each dive typically lasts 30 minutes, but can be as long as 4 hours. Loggerheads today are endangered, mainly due to the loss of their coastal nesting habitats. They can also be found caught in untended fishing nets. With a lifespan of up to 70 years, we hope that this friendly creature has many happy years of foraging ahead of her. It turns out there is more than one way to cool off after a hike in the desert, as we were glad to get some rainfall from the tail end of Hurricane Genevieve.
Finally, we've got a bit of rain, so we're washing the boat as much as we can.
Sadly, the captain wasn't fully briefed that the secret camera was rolling. Join us next time on Sailing Bohemia, where we make the short sail to La Gringa in the northern Bahia de Los Angeles. Whale sharks visit the anchorage and lead to an amazing encounter. And we celebrate our 1-year cruising anniversary by giving Bohemia the day off and going out on a friend's boat. Special thanks in this episode go to our newest patrons for their generous contributions to Bohemia's bar tab. Thank you to Arthi and Don from California, who are planning an epic sailing adventure out of Thailand. And thank you to Terry and Dennis from the Pacific Northwest, who are planning an exciting sailing adventure to the Sea of Cortez and across the Pacific. Thank you all so much, and here's to you. If you enjoyed this episode, then please don't forget to tell YouTube all about it by leaving a comment, giving the video a like, and subscribing to the channel. See you next time!